Dublin's FM4. It is the Strawberry Alarm Clock, and we can now beam into a park somewhere where Loyle Carner is chatting to us. How are you, Loyle?
Yes, I am. I'm good. I'm good. I'm alive. I'm kicking. I'm in a park.
You have a busy couple of months ahead of yourself. Is this the downtime now before
Mm,
everything starts ramping up, or have we already ramped up?
I wish, man. Yeah, we've been ramped up for a minute now. But yeah, no, it's nice. I like I'm surrounded by trees all the time. So even when it's like uptime, it's still downtime in a way. But yeah, no, I like it busy, man. Keeps my brain active and moving forward. Gives it something to do.
And so you get some peace from being in nature, do you? Like, do you feel like completely chilled you out?
Yeah. Have to be outside. In Japan, there's this idea of this thing called like tree bathing, where people like go to the forest and like how people would sunbathe in the Western world, like they go and like bathe in the trees, like bathe in like the good air and the peace and like the sound of the trees like in the wind. So maybe I do that. I don't know.
Yeah, there's definitely something in that. Loyle, I
Yeah,
think
man.
I watched a video that you did of your 10 favorite things. I think you and me could be
Yeah.
friends. I have notebooks coming out of my ears as well.
Nice.
I've got one right here. I do enjoy a bit of chess, although I do it online. I've
Oh
been
yeah.
through the nappy stage. You're in the middle of that. I'm
Yeah.
on the other side of it.
I'm
It
deep in that.
it gets easier.
Yeah. I've heard. Now I
So
have
if,
two. Now I have two. I know that one is easier with the nappies and one is harder with the nappies, but the other one is harder with like life, like now
yes.
he needs like a real mentor and a leader. I can't just be like crazy all the time. I got to kind of get my act together a little bit. So
I
yeah,
think you'll be. I think you have no problem with that regard. So if we
I'm
were
trying.
friends, right? I'll come around to your house and I want to have a look at your record collection. What am
Yeah.
I? What am I seeing? What am I going to see in Loyal's record collection? Because that's the first
L-
thing I've seen.
Loads, man. Right now, what's like on heavy rotation? Like Elliott Smith,
Okay.
The Smiths,
Yes.
Adrian Lenker, Fontaines.
Yes.
Probably
That's
those items would be like at the top of my pile.
excellent.
But there's a
Excellent.
lot there.
Nice mixture too.
Jim's
Mm.
nodding his head, going, "Yep, yeah, I
Well,
like this."
Fontaine's like human Ireland. You know what I mean? So that's okay.
You know what I mean? Come on, special band, man. Special band, truly. Yeah, I'm a big fan of them, and I have been for a long time. And it's nice to see like on this album, like they just fucking sorry for swearing, they just blown up, like blown up, and it's so rare to see that after like a long period of a career. So to see them like explode even further into like massive crowds all around the world is so deserved because they're like a true band, great band.
I was
Yes.
looking online. I was like, "When was the last time you were over here?" And then it brought me to the first time when you played the Button Factory. That
Yeah,
must be something special now that you've done the Button Factory and now you're coming to the Tree Arena in November. Will you go back and have
bonkers.
a look and go, "Wow"?
Bonkers. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Still can't believe it, really. But it's like being over there's like a special place for me. And I've played so many good shows where you guys are, and like I always look forward to them, like above a lot of other places we go to, because there's just something about the crowd and the people and like the venues themselves and the atmosphere. It feels like there's so much goodwill in the room always, and that's something you can't take for granted.
So a lot of people think that the Irish crowds, well, we appreciate lyrics because we come from that kind of a history of poets and stuff, and then
Exactly.
also we like the bass. When the bass kicks in and we're
Yeah.
all- we're in good form, and you
Yeah.
bring both of those things at the same time, it's going to take off.
Trying to, man, trying to. Yeah, no. I hope I do you guys justice because I know that there's a lot of brilliant people coming from where you are. So for me to come over there and not get in the way of all that is, yeah, something I take seriously. So yeah, fingers crossed for me.
Glastonbury's coming up, and I was looking on Friday about who's playing Friday, and there's another Irish person as well, CMAT. Have you come
Yeah,
across CMAT yet?
yeah. I feel like I wasn't. It wasn't a year I was there, but at the Mercury's or something like that. There's been a few times where I've like caught live performance on Jules Holland or something. Nah, true fan, and everyone around me talks about them um, like it's sometimes there's artists where like you don't even know too much of their music at first, but you're already a fan of them just because the people you respect are a fan of them. I think that's
Yes,
kind of what it was like for me up until very recently.
and so you're heading back there. I know you headlined one of the stages last time round.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
which of the days are you on this week or this year?
I'm on Friday, Friday night, headlining a stage called the Other Stage, which to my
Yes.
mind is maybe like one of the best ones because it's like big, like the pyramid stage, but without all the pressure of being, the main stage for everyone to watch at home.
I've been looking and listening because our other co-host Zainab is on her honeymoon at the minute,
Oh
and
wow,
she's
congrats!
You are her favorite artist at the
Oh
minute,
man.
and she was actually going to dial in today just to say hello on her honeymoon.
On the
But
honeymoon.
I was
I
like, "You're
don't
in
want to break
Mauritius.
up
You
the
cannot
marriage
do that."
already, man. It's so early, you know.
That's what, that's what I said to Crossy. If Prince came back from the dead, I wouldn't dial in for my honeymoon.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, listen, that's it. I mean, I definitely would for Prince, but other than
Oh, yeah. Well,
But when you like, she said she just falls in love with your lyrics all the time.
well,
What were you like in school? Like, were your teachers just going, "What is this?" Like, oh my god.
no, they hated me, man. I was terrible in school. I loved poetry for sure though, and write like script writing. You know, like trying to write plays and stuff. But I didn't. I wasn't like a bad kid. I was just like a bit like mischievous, you know. But I think like teachers would tear their hair up because I wanted to. They wanted me to. They could see I could do something with myself, but I wasn't doing it. So I think they're glad now that I'd done something.
Have they
Yeah.
asked you back yet? I always find that, when someone does something, there's always one teacher who you're close with will go, "Is there any chance you can go back and say
Yeah,
hello?"
yeah, 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 for sure. And I have like I went to one like kind of academic school and then went to one brilliant school for like, arts. I went to the Brit School and like a lot of my teachers, they're the head teacher there. Stuart Warden is incredible, like believer in the next generation, and I go back all the time and chill with him. And yeah, like a lot of my teachers, I still, especially like the special educational needs department, because they held me down, and gave me some of the answers.
right.
Wow. That's lovely.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a great comedian in Ireland called Tommy Tiernan, and
Mhm.
he when he talks about his school days, he talks about
Mm.
there's no sort of outlet for the daydreamers and the artists and the kind of the creative people. There's nobody sort
Man.
of picking up on that early and encouraging it.
It's too true. I was in Glasgow the other day. Like I've been in there a lot because I've been shooting this TV show, and I met this little boy. We're in a place called Grangemouth. I was chatting to this little boy, and he was like 8 years old, and I was like, "What's it like here? Like, what's it like to live around here?" And he was like, "Man, too much murder." And I was like, "What?"
Wow.
And then I'm like, "Oh, so what? Like, explain." And he talks about. He said he being 8 is tough because he wants to be 9 because when you're 9 you can vape. And I was like, wow. And so he's kind of talking me through kind of how heavy it is to live where he lives. And then I was like, so what do you like to do at school? And he was like, not much, I want to join the Marines. And I said, but what do you want to do right now? And he was like, well, if I'm really honest, I love to paint. And I was like, does anyone know that you love to paint? He was like, no, and I haven't really told anyone about it, but I paint at home when I can get stuff, and I would love to do it at school, but there is no space for it. And crazy to think like this kid seems so tough, but really like deep in the core is still like this little curious boy who wants to create and make, and yeah, heartbreaking to think about the space for arts being cut and funding for arts being cut so much around the country because it saves lives, keeps people away from whatever. It's like an escape for the reality that they're living.
Yeah, totally.
After listening to, your music over the last while, hearing you talk, I kind of forget we're chatting to you because I'm just
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's
and
like
I'm checking myself every
you're
couple of seconds
you're
to
waiting
go,
for a beat to kick
Uh,
in.
waiting for a
Yeah.
beat.
I'm
One
just
thing-
stealing a living, I guess. Just like talking
Ah,
over
No, not at
talking over
all.
beats,
Not at
man.
all.
we've got something in common. We both like food. You talk about
Yeah,
cooking quite a bit.
yeah.
Tell us favorite foods because a lot of people who love listening to you know this about you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like an opportunity to make yourself happy 3 times a day, so I take it. What am I making right now? I mean, trying to make a lot of Vietnamese food. I'm trying to eat good. I'm trying to eat healthy, man. I've been letting it slip recently while I've been away, so I'm back to basics. But yeah, Vietnamese food for me is like that's my happy place right now.
Excellent. I'm into it. Okay. Well, look, we'll be over to go through your record collection, have some Vietnamese food, and
Please,
we'll
please.
talk more. Listen, so you're playing Three Arena on November the 9th, the Hopefully World Tour comes to
Yes,
Dublin. It's been great to talk to you, Lloyd. Continued success,
it's
and
a pleasure, man.
yeah, we'll talk to you. We'll see you in Dublin at some point.
Thank you so much, guys.
Cheers,
Much
man.
love. Bye. See you there,
Thanks so
hopefully.
much.
Cheers,
Bye.
man.
Bye. Bye.
And poor El Zayn, I've not been able to see you.
Ah, yeah. Sorry.
Can,
Sorry.
could you say hello, Zainab, just for
Hello, Zainab. I'm sorry. Happy honeymoon.
yeah,
Congratulations. I'm glad you didn't
Yeah.
dial in. I'm glad you didn't dial in.
yes, she's right. Well done.